fruit is just a sore point for me because I only get quarter of a mango. Not acceptable. Okay. All right. So with that wonderful superstar presentation by Stacey, I don't know how we're going to beat that, but we're going to try and beat it. So I have the pleasure of introducing our author today. And so a lot of you know, because I think we're all family here. She is my mother, right? And some people know us as twins because they think that we're sisters. I don't know if it's all me old or she look young, whatever, I don't care. They just say that we look like sisters. So, you know, we have a very close relationship being mother and daughter. A lot of mother and daughter don't have that, but we do actually have a relationship like sisters. So with that, I'll just give you a little background. I think Uncle Gladwin went, I'll give a little bit of my presentation. I don't know if he was reading my mind or if he read my notes, but he did share that she is a daughter of teachers, so she has a educational background from her head there and knee, right? With that, she has further educated herself to the stage where she has a bachelor's in management studies and also a master's in gender studies. She is well known for her work with women. She has worked with women who have been in domestic violence situations. And she is also a woman that is very, let's say, she never stands still, right? She left here to come and live with me in Tacoma, Washington in 2009 to help me with raising my kids and just to give me moral support. I was recently divorced and needed a help, and she has always been there. So she left a comfortable situation to come and live. I don't know if a lot of you know the sacrifice you make when you actually go to the United States of America, right? Sometimes you have to do what you would not normally do here. She rolled up her sleeves, and she even worked at Macy's, right? Helping people put away clothes, which is something that probably should have never thought of doing here in Jamaica. That was, I wouldn't do that, right? But she went and she did what she needed to do to help out the family, right? Since she was always in situations where she wanted to help women of domestic violence, I won't go into too much personal details. I'll leave that to her if she wants to share that with you. She went and she further educated herself to attain a certificate, an associate in, I believe it was, human services, so that she could work in that profession in the United States, right? So she decided we helped her to decide that it's time for her to retire, right? But being the type of person she is, it was time to do something else. So now that she was retired, she had decided to write a book. I'm not going to go into her details, but nonetheless, she has been a good example for me and the kids, as I am mother of 2 daughters, and we do look up to her for advice for any and everything. We look at her example as one that we want to follow, and I hope and pray that when she shares a little bit of the background as to why she went and decided to write this book, that you'll pay a key ear to what she has to say. And then she'll follow that with some of our favorite sayings, of which I know are some of yours as well. So with that, I will bring up our guest speaker, our esteemed author, Miss Grace Whiteley Christie.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you again for coming. I really thought I would have seen a bigger crowd, but I thank God for you who are here. Yes, so as my daughter was saying, I'll give you a little background as to why and how I wrote this book. Now, as children, as you'll also see in the book, as children, we were not allowed to talk patois at home. We would be strictly corrected if we slipped up. So we enjoyed talking outside of the home with our friends. There's a particular friend I can remember in high school, Beverly Batchelor. Yes. She was my best friend at school. And it was our biggest fun during the summer holiday. You know, summer is a long holiday. During the summer holidays, we would write each other in pure patois. The letters would be, that's how much I loved patois. So, with that love, I continued to, I thanked Miss Lou so much for what she did for patois in this country, that we could recognize it as our own language and not something we should be ashamed of. English is English and patois is patois. Patois is not broken English. So I like patois. I don't always indulge in it, but I can when I see my friends, and my daughter and I like to do it at home, especially to tease the young ones, because they like to imitate us speaking patois in American, with their American accent. So we get a big joke from that. But how I came to write this book. I retired at the end of 2019, just before the pandemic broke. And I had been working in the schools at the time as they call it an office professional, which is basically doing secretarial work. But you know, the Americans have a title for everything. So I enjoy doing that because I got to interact with the kids, and sometimes I worked in the sick room when the nurse wasn't there. I had to look, see to them and all of that. But due to a chronic back issue, I really had to stop working. I wasn't quite ready to stop, although my kids wanted me to stop. But while I was off, I was getting anxious, as I say, antsy. I had to find something to do. So I had been collecting, from memory, all these Jamaican sayings. Not all of them are in patois, of course, because a lot were heard in my home, among my family members, from friends, wherever. I don't remember every single one where it originated, but I do remember it. So as I remembered, I would write it down. And after I had reached a little over 100, I said, it's time for me to write a book. So that's what I did. Encouraged by my family, especially my granddaughter, Natalia. She would not let me quit. So that is how this book came about. As we would say back home. Interestingly, the topic I really wanted for it was, as Mama used to say. But when I did the research, there was a published author with a book of the same title, so I couldn't use it. Anyway, I will just read a short excerpt for you from the book, and then I'll share with you some of the favorite sayings. I'm reading from the introduction. During our formative years and even into adulthood, we fail to recognize how the sayings and beliefs that are expressed around us influence and shape our ideologies. These sayings and beliefs usually come to us from our parents, grandparents, other family members, and even our preachers at church. For those fortunate enough to grow up in closely knit communities, this larger grouping also adds its influence. Finally, music and other art forms which mimic life reflect some of these folklores or ideologies, and quite often the messages presented in these media tend to stick and remain with us throughout our lifetimes. Wherever those influences came from, we store them in our brains, and when we get older, sometimes much older, we often find ourselves prefacing a lot of our expressions with, as Mama used to say, as Dada would say, as we would say back home, or some other expression of reflection. I grew up in Jamaica, Caribbean island. I was blessed to have numerous aunts and uncles and cousins, as my parents came from big families. Sadly, I lost both grandmothers and my paternal grandfather when I was quite young. As such, their folklore influence was minimal, but I do recall their strong Christian beliefs and their great love for family. With all that said, let me now share some of the expressions I picked up since my childhood, many of which are still being regularly used by my family and in the community at large. I separated my sayings after I'd written them down. I realized that I could group them. So I grouped them in what I heard from the grandparents, from my parents, those generally heard at home, which I couldn't tell which parent used to say, and the society at large. The society at large is broken down into religious influence, animal-related sayings, and just potpourri, just a mixture of everything. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is one my grandfather used a lot. It was almost his motto. He would always say to us, "Do it now." He recommended that as soon as a task came to mind, it should be executed immediately rather than put off to be done at a later time. That way we would not forget what we wanted to do. Then he would also say first things first. He would advise us that we should prioritize. That's what it meant, prioritize. The thing that is most important, do it first. Then my grandma, I remember I said she died early. That's my maternal grandma. She died when I was 10 years old. And one word I remember her saying all the time, describing as a child as being prime. She said, "That little child prime, you see?" I said, of course, at my age, I didn't know what that meant, especially as during childhood, I would sometimes go to what we used to call the beef shop, although they sold all different types of meat, but we'd call it the beef shop. I'd go with her, and sometimes I'd see a notice on the board, prime beef. So you're telling me a child is prime, and then there is prime beef? So of course, as a child, I was completely confused. And then I remember hearing it. There was another granddaughter who lived in the home with her. At the time I lived in the home with my grandparents. And another cousin who was there, she was older than me. She was an adolescent. And I would hear my grandmother say from time to time, as soon as she see the boy, them her skin catch fire. I also didn't understand what she meant. But as I got older, I understood. She was simply an adolescent behaving in the way adolescents behave. They start getting attracted to the opposite sex, and they get excited when they're around them. Now my mother, for those who knew my mother, she was a gentlewoman. She was never quarreled, but as children, she would use some harsh words to us to keep us, in line. I remember the first thing that even our grandchildren can remember her saying is, "You could cry blood." That meant we had asked her for something, and she had said no several times. So we would start crying, and that was what she would tell us. She said, "There is no way you're going to get it, or you're going to get to go." And she also liked to say, if you can't hear, you will have to feel. Or if you spread your bed hard, you will have to lie down on it hard. My dad was a quiet man, but a disciplinarian. In his earlier years as principal, a lot of his past students can attest to the fact that he knew how to use his rod of correction. he didn't hold back. But one thing I remember him saying, now my dad is a man who, he really didn't indulge in patois. I don't say he didn't speak patois, but he didn't indulge in patois. But one of his favorite sayings was, if a man born for hang, him can't drown. That was his belief in destiny. He thought that any way you were intended to die, that's how you're gonna die. Of course, you can't know beforehand, but this would show up especially if we see, for example, a really serious accident and everybody in the vehicle dies except one person. That you would hold that, that saying up to it, that person was not born to die that way. And then he used to say that the man with the raw meat needs to seek the fire. And that was very wise, because he simply meant that when you're in need, be prepared to go in search of help. Opportunities won't just fall in your lap. They will have to be diligently sought. So the person who is in need needs to initiate the action required for this need to be met. Now, among these sayings heard at home, I'll just tell you two that I recall. The devil finds work for idle hands. That was said a lot in my home. I heard it a lot in my home. And I don't need to explain it, that's self-explanatory. If you are idle, then it's easy for you to get into trouble. And then they like to tell us, early to bed, early to rise, makes one healthy, wealthy, and wise. And that was a way to get us into our beds early. So, who doesn't want to be healthy, wealthy, and wise? Among those that are of a religious influence, I'll just name two that I used to hear. Man a plan, but God a wipe out. So this actually means that the best of laid plans may still be just subject to the will of God. Another religious one is, thank God for Jesus. You hear people say this almost, it comes out so naturally when something goes wrong. This saying has two main application pathways, namely, it is almost a reflex reaction for Jamaicans when good news is received, especially when the situation had seemed almost hopeless. The other conveys the idea that had it not been for Jesus, then a particular action, usually bad, would have been taken. But as the Bible states, the love of Christ constraineth us. The animal-related ones that I'll share with you today starts with hog washing the first water I meet. I'm sure we have all heard that one, which simply means that one should make use of every opportunity that presents itself and not wait for that big ideal one you're hoping to come your way someday. Another one is if you throw a stone in a pig pen, the one will squeal and him get licked. That one basically means people's reaction to general statements or comments not directed specifically at them can show up their guilt or other involvement in a situation. Now the one in the just general area. When trouble take you, picnic shot fit you. That one has always intrigued me. I found it very funny. And it's basically just saying when trouble comes, that in time of trouble, you will make do with whatever little you have. And finally, there's this one which everybody knows. Duppy know who for frighten. Bullies are generally unpleasant, mean people, usually pick on weaker individuals who for one reason or another are not expected or able to retaliate. So we're not talking about the real duppy or what people consider to be real duppies. We're talking about that is referring to people who take advantage of weaker people. Well, that's my presentation for today. Again, thank you all for coming, and I will pass back the mic to my daughter.
Oh no, clap her again. Clap her again. So there's something to tell you. She said that Duppy know who for frightened, but she was my Duppy. You understand? Because all she had to do was to look at us and we're frightened. Up to now, I'm still afraid of my mother. I don't know about you, but I'm still afraid of them. I tell my friends and my co-workers that it's two people I'm afraid of, God and my mother. If you grew up in our house, you would understand. She was the disciplinarian, main disciplinarian, right? But my grandfather was, well, I don't know where him get that energy from, but he would run us around the house if you knew where we live. It was a big house, right? Big yard, and we would run around the house, and every time we look back, that, right there. So him was the other Duppy. You understand? Anyways, rich heritage of which we are trying to share with everyone that we meet, right? Now, Mom didn't tell you this, but she's also known to try and help Americans speak Patois, right? Because they everybody said that they love the accent, right? So she likes to teach them to speak Patois. Now, you know, it sounds very weird when American people, they don't sound the same. It does sound weird to me, right? But they try because they like how it sounds, and they want to learn how to speak when they come here. So you're going to know the American them different because they just don't have the accent. Anyway, you know, we are 1 in a million. Nobody can replace Jamaicans, right? So I'm not going to keep you too long because I think we're at the highlight of our presentation. So up next, I'm going to have my daughter, Natalia, where are you? Come and kind of give you some happenings with what evolved from the book, right? So now, presentation, guys. Are you ready? With the happening slide. You can't see me, can't hear. Can you give me a wave with the happening? Can somebody go throw something and lick them? Anyway, can somebody go knock on them? Nobody looking at me. This is the important part of the presentation. Just have to make sure. It is up. Okay, I can't see. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. I can't see. It's back on me. Anyway, with that, I'm going to pass it over to my daughter, the very talented Christie Innes, sorry. Miss Natalia, you're up.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Okay, hello. How are you guys doing today? It is so good to see everybody here. Thank you all for gathering with us and helping support our family. So, amongst my grandmother creating this book, we didn't just want to have the book to show to the people. We wanted to be able to share our culture and make sure that that's translated not just through the book, but also through what we plan to do with this business here that we have created after my grandmother, called Grace Forever. Now, this is a company where we're going to bring more awareness, not just in Jamaica, not just in the States, but we're going to bring more awareness around the world about the culture of Jamaica and the agriculture, the politics, the religion, and just the traditions that was involved inside of the household when I was growing up, and also involved in my mother's household, my grandmother's household, and so we want to educate people about that. As far as what we have going on now, we have just launched our first website, and there you'll be able to find not only the book, but we've also created some apparel with some of our favorite sayings, and we put it onto t-shirts like this. Well, this is a muscle shirt, but we have t-shirts and tank tops and caps, and we have some suits that we're working on, some jogging suits, and we have sweaters and crew necks, hoodies. Soon to come, we have tote bags you can take to the grocery store with your favorite saying on it. Put your groceries in the bag. We have clothes for men. We also have unisex clothes for men and women. So it's like a fit for all. We also have some for women and children as well. So we have a little bit of something for everybody, something everyone can take from and just share and wear and bring more joy to wherever you decide to enter. We've really been working hard on this to try to kind of bring more of our culture into the world, because it seems like Jamaica now is becoming a popular thing. People like to come and travel, they like to come and tour, they like to stay on the resorts and things like that, but the culture is very important. It's very rich. It's one of those rare things that you come upon, especially growing up in the States, the togetherness, the feeling of family, and just being able to not just be hot in the weather, but be warm in your heart when you're surrounded by loving people like this. We also have hats too, yes. And I'm not a fashion designer, but just from the sayings that my grandmother came up with in her book, and many more to come, we've decided to put that onto clothes. So we have a website called graceforever.org. Now if you guys have purchased a book, you should have gotten a business card. On that business card, you'll have access to our website. And since you guys are here with us today, once we bring out any new clothing or decide to bring out anything, you guys will be the first to know about it. And we also have a special discount coming up too if you'd like to get any clothes for anyone you love or yourself or any children. I know school is starting very soon, so you're going to need some more clothes. So yes, we have those available for you guys. Carry your favorite quote with you anywhere you go. You can, on our website, you'll be able to find the coffee mugs, the tea mugs, notebooks, notepads, tumblers, tote bags, and so much more. I also like to make it known to you guys that if you do have any of your favorite sayings that you find from the book, feel free to message us from our website. Let us know, and we'll put your favorite saying on anything you want, whether it be a t-shirt, a backpack, anywhere, anywhere. We are also available on Kindle, Amazon. I believe if you have a Kindle membership, you'd be able to get it for free. No, okay, forget about that. If you have Kindle, you'll be able to get it on Kindle, and you can take it with you on your iPad or your tablet or your phone if you're going to be traveling or just to have it with you. It's all there. So as for what's happening right now, I believe that's it, right? Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.
I was telling her that I needed it, but that's fine. I'll go based on memory, so don't judge me. Okay. All right. Well, I didn't think anybody clapped her. Clap her, please. Clap her, clap loud, clap like you're not hungry. Marley, I see you hiding. Come this way, please. For those who have on T-shirts from the business, can you please come on stage now so that we can just give them a taste of what the T-shirts look like? So Marley Christie, Grace Christie, go up on stage, please. If you can go on stage. You're not going up there? Okay. So this is just one design. And of course, you can get it in the colors that you like, so it's not just black that we have it in. We have it in all kind of designs, and these are some other ones. So Natalia has on honesty is the best policy. You can get it in the tank tops. We have crew necks, we have regular t-shirts.
They also come in a wide variety of sizes. We have them from extra small up to 5XL. The material is 100% cotton, so it's very breathable. They come in about, I want to say, 8 to 9 variations of color, depending on what type of, here's another color that we have in navy blue. This one is Don't Quit, Do It Now. And for the tank tops, we have 3 colors, which is about white, black, navy blue. And for the shirts, we have all the way from black, white, yellow, green, blue, all the colors of the rainbow, and Skittles included. So that is going to be available all on our website. And like I said, feel free to submit any of your ideas if you have any sayings that you like. Anything that you think of that we could create. We not only will have a special one made for you, but we can also have it featured on our website as well.
Okay, thank you. You can have a seat. Thank you. All right. Then Pretty E. Anyway, let's see. Roger, where is Roger? Roger Shaw. Your time, boss. You're up next. We'll have a lovely presentation by Brother Roger. And by the way, Cecile, I'm still waiting on my present. Christmas, remember? From last year? Yeah, and this year too, okay. Okay, we have a surprise for you. There's someone who would like to say a poem first, so we'll have her say a poem, and then we'll bring up Roger afterwards. Clap her.
Thank you. Happy moment, praise God. Difficult moment, see God. Quiet moment, worship God. Faithful moment, thank God. Every moment, give Him praise.
Clap her again, clap her again. All right, so I want one person, and you're not going to get any present, you might get an extra party, right? Tell me one of the things that mom said. Okay, I'll start with the lady first, and then the gentleman. So, Stacey. Prime, and what does prime mean? Hold on.
I think prime means that you act older than your age.
Forthright?
Forthright.
Forthright. Okay, that's what we take it for. Forthright. Yes, them young young picnic are going like them a big woman. Yes, forthright. Same thing with the man then.
The devil finds work for idle hands. When you're idle, the devil finds work for you.
We know about that, right, Cecile? Okay. All right. You don't remember when we used to anyway. Let's not share our secrets. We'll take that to our graves, right? Okay. All right. Roger, are you ready? Clap him. Make him come quicker. Come, clap him. Run like you eat food today. Run. Here.
So congratulations, Sister Christie, on your fabulous milestone journey to finally, where is she? Oh yes. Have this book launch. Congratulations. I will be doing a song from my album that I also had launched on a larger scale. So it's called Time Is Running Out, that's the album. It's a dual album, instrumental and an a cappella. Unfortunately, I was trying to find the TV track for the instrumental version, but just didn't work out, so I have to resort to doing the a cappella version. So I hope you will like it. Let's go. Okay, so let's start again so we can hear it, because we're not hearing anything, right? Let's go again. But can we get some volume on it? Volume. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. When my Jesus is upon the earth, in trust all man to carry out him word. What he said to them is what we do. See the message and we bring it for you. 1 Corinthians 15 is what you must hear. If you believe it, you're almost there. Now confess him to be Lord and King. Come on, my brothers, repent your sins now.
This is the message, the message, the message.
for you and me.
This is the message, the message, the message.
Everybody,
This is the message, the message, the message.
come on, come on.
This is the message
Yeah.
for you.
Everybody run, come now.
Baptize now and clean up your heart. Invite the Holy Ghost to come and take part. I guarantee you have a spiritual flight. Read the Bible and start live right. Jesus Christ died for us. Him be buried, but him raised on a fall. And I tell you what a joy within that the message of salvation brings. Yeah.
This is the message, the message, the message.
Came to save the lost.
This is the message, the message, the message.
He died on the cross.
This is the message, the message, the message.
He paid the price.
This is the message
Yeah.
for you.
Everybody run, come now.
Know that you have heard this message. What are you going to do? Tell me. There is only one way up to heaven, and that's the way to choose.
This is the message, the message, the message.
Don't you know?
This is the message
For you
for you.
and me. No, everybody need to hear the message of Christ, because he came to earth and he died on the cross for the sins of the whole world. Check this. Mother need it, father need it, brother need it, yes, my sister need it, uncle and aunt, grandpa, grandma, black man, white man, Chinese man and Indian, Jamaican or American, Russian, African, Ballad or the Rasta man. What about the rich man or the poor man? Yes, they need it, really need it. Doctor need it, lawyer need it, police need it, and the thief need it. But don't bother doubt, just believe it. The world need it, yes, the world need it. This is the message, the message. You can be saved. And that's it. Thank you very much. And by the way, that's a true message. That is the plan of salvation that God has given to man. And if we obey this plan, trust me, heaven will be our destination. Blessings.
You see what I'm doing? You wanna see what I'm doing, right? Who take picture? You take a picture? Yeah, you take a picture of what I'm doing with me here? You don't know, you don't know, say enough to touch people here, eh? You don't do that, you know, you understand? But through me and you are friend and family. All right, sister, yes, it goes so. You get ready this time, all right. Okay, well, I believe that is our presentation for today. So, of course, just give a big round of applause one more time for all of the presenters today. Thank you. Now you can clap yourself. All right. And thank you once again for being here. We really appreciate the support that we got today. And Bonnie, me see you sneaking in now. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And Kerry, glad you came, because you know what the consequences would have been. All right. So big thank you. Really appreciate each and every one of you. We do have some refreshments, but before you get to the refreshments, dear, if you have not bought a book, please go and do so. We have the author here. Where's the author? She gone already? Oh, she back. Oh, she gone back there. Who is here to sign your book at no extra charge. It's 20 US or 3,000 Jamaican dollars if you have not bought it. It's also a good item to give as a present. I don't need that as a present. I have one already, right? But you can get a present for. You wanted to say something? I can't hear you. I'm not going to. Anyway, so if you would like extras, there are extras. Okay, or you can go to the website. All right. We have some refreshments at the back. Oh yes, I forgot about question. You see the guy just put it to thank you. Some of those things says thank you. Is there any questions or answers that you would like for your questions? That is a good question, you know. You can ask the author, right? I know that, so what we are planning to do while we're here is try and get the books into some of the bookstores here, so it will be available locally. But in the meantime, we have a local contact with my brother who is back there. His information can be made available today if you want it. It's on the slides. We're going to leave the slides with the guys here. If you want a copy of the slides, we can also send that to your email if you'd so like that, right? So, and all the contact information is on that with the website as well as the local contact name and his telephone number. All right? Any other questions? Comments? You have a comment to see? You look like you want to say something. You don't have a comment? Not at this time? Okay. Any other comments? Questions? You want a next one? Okay. You want to say a next poem? That's what you want to do? Well, if you want to say a next poem, come say a next poem. I like extra things, you know. I like extra presents.
When I used to go to school, I always liked to say poems. Be nice to people, to all the people. Even when you don't have to be, everybody is important. Be nice to people, to all the people. Even when you don't have to be, everybody is important.
Thank you, sister. So, my grandmother used to tell me something similar to that, that if you don't have anything good to say, shut up. That's as simple as that, right? But she's right, be nice to everybody. All right, so with that, we will close out. Thank you for being here. Go and enjoy some food. Roger, you have something else to say? Are you done? You done? Oh, you finished? You wanted another song? You have another song? Boy, up here, brother, where I get today. Oh, people so generous. Oh, go on.
Blessings. Buck, you ready? Don't flap it out this time, no. Ready? So give me some volume on the thing. All right, this is another song from the album. It's called God Can. Buck? Stacey, you want to come and sing with me? This is my wife, Stacey. So I suppose, yes. Your voice? You can go in that book? Or that line? The Jamaican vernacular. Today, please. Volume now. Buck, repeat it please. Volume. Life is worth living. But it is best when you live it, Stacy, with God in the center of your heart. Whoa, God can. Oh, yes, He can. Whoa, when you're feeling down, I know, don't know what to do. Disappointment is all around, makes you whoa so blue. Planning for tomorrow, you say, is a waste of time. But I'm here to tell you, my friend, please bear this in mind. A better day is coming, just you wait and see. God has made a planet you, which includes you and me. Keep your eyes upon your goals, I guarantee you will see that all it takes is for you to demonstrate your belief that
God can do anything for
I know He can.
make all your dreams come true. God can change your whole life around. God can put your feet back on the ground. Whoa,
God can.
God can.
Oh, yes, He can. I know, all the days are now ahead. Don't carry your burdens along. There is hope for you, so wait and just be strong. Here is a new day just for you. Failures in the past, procrastination and doubt may arise, but keep your eyes on your prize. Life is filled with uncertainties, now we realize. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but still you must go on. Keep your eyes up to the hill where relies a prize. If only we will do what's right and don't give up the fight. God can. No matter what your situation, Almighty God has a plan. Bills overdue, rent neatly paid, no job, no one to turn to. Huh. God will see you through. Remember the passage, Philippians 4 verse 6. It says, don't worry about anything. Just take everything to God in prayer. There's nothing too great for God's power, and there's nothing too small for His fatherly care. Take everything to Him in prayer. You see, He will give you peace, your heart's desire. And trust me, according to His divine will, yes, He can. Just for you.
All right, boss. Thank you. Clap him again. Clap him again. Okay. I think we're ready for food. I know I am ready for food. So I hope, I thank you very much for all of your extras, but I'm ready for food. So with that, let's go and eat some food. Right? We have some pudding. I don't remember what type of pudding, but there's pudding. There's cocktail patties, both beef and chicken. Some juice. fruit juice, different flavors. So please go and enjoy yourselves, and thank you so much for your patience and for your presence. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Go and eat. Or rather go and name, because it's all for food and we don't want to take it home. I don't think Landy wants it at him yard. So please go and eat. Enjoy. Thank you.